is stacked. You can whisper behind my back. You can show me how the odds are up against me all day long. But I've been through the fire and come out alive, and there's no more fear in my eyes. Oh, now I'm rising, and you can't bring me down. You can't stop me now. Can't stop me now. My feet have come too far for you to tie them to the ground. You can't stop me now. Can't stop me now. Set my sights on where I'm going at, and turn it back around. You can't stop me now. You can't stop me. All the blood, sweat, and sacrifice. Oh, I paid the dearest price. And no shortcuts here for destiny. I'll take the long way proud. Oh, I know what I've earned, and now it's my turn. Lighting the fuse, let it burn. My time is rising, but you can't bring me down. Can't stop me now. Can't stop me now. My feet have come too far for you to tie them to the ground. Can't stop me now. Can't stop me now. Set my sights on where I'm going at, and turn it back around. Can't stop me. Can't stop me now. No, 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 you can't stop me now. This is the calm before the storm. You know what's coming, so be warned. You can't stop me now. You can't stop me now. Oh, my feet have come too far for you to tie them to the ground. Can't stop me now. Can't stop me now. Set my sights on where I'm going now, and turn it back around. Can't stop me. Stacked. You can't. You can't tell me the deck is stacked. You can't whisper behind my back. You can't show me how the odds are up against me all day long. But I've been through the fire and come out alive, and there's no more fear in my eyes. Oh, now I'm rising, and you can't bring me down. You can't stop me now. Can't stop me now. My feet have come too far for you to tie them to the ground. Can't stop me now. Can't stop me now. Set my sights on where I'm going at, and turn it back around. Can't stop me.
Well, good evening and welcome to the Psychic Coffee Shop. I'm Aeson Knight. I'm flying solo till Joe gets back. We've had a meeting run over late, and it's always fun when meetings just want to run over. So this morning I watched something that I'm not sure many people have been watching, and it's the Farm Report. And you're probably wondering why I am watching the Farm Report. Isn't it boring? It's quite telling. So the U.S. National Agriculture Center released a report and said that, grains are down 1.5% globally. Not too bad, right? Wrong. Here's the things that are occurring. One, a lot of the wheat crops in the United States didn't come up. Just didn't germinate. Too much rain. Then we had a desert. By that I mean a lot of Texans literally they don't have anything. They don't even have mud because it's just dust now. Because energy prices up. Because when we look over at Ukraine and the producer of nitrates, what are nitrates used for? Nitrates are used for fertilizer. Most of our crops have a lot of fertilizer to them. That makes those big, gorgeous tomatoes and big, gorgeous cucumbers. Yeah, it's mainly produced in Russia. We're currently not buying anything from Russia. They're currently not selling anything. Guys, they're predicting a 23% loss of food supply. Now, globally, we normally grow twice the amount of food needed. Not this year. We may fall slight. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's probably going to be more food shortages into 2024. It'll all depend on when harvest happens coming September. Thank you, Charles. I thank you very much. Um, it'll really depend on how that happens and what goes on there. So I would not look for food prices to go down. I would look for one food group to go down, and that's livestock. Because our wheat, our barley, our corn mainly goes to support livestock. Farmers are having to send livestock to slaughter early. Why? Because they don't even have the food or the grain or the hay to feed them. So it's not going to be good meat, but at least maybe meat will go down a little bit. But I'm going to highly recommend people begin stocking up, begin working for it. Now, our government, through bribing and, arm twisting, finally did pass the massive, a very, very massive bill, the Inflation Reduction Act, into law. It'll be debatable on where it goes into and how it goes into. Of course, it is a $1750 billion healthcare bill, tax and climate bill that has a lot of benefits for the American people, but it also has a lot of things that are helped to socially stem this inflation we're under, which isn't that high comparatively. But for those that lived through the late 70s, you may be seeing a lot of the late 70s reappearing again, scarily. So we have that going on, and that was really interesting to delve into. And yeah, I know a lot of people don't watch the Farm Report, but it'll tell you a lot of trends you may not be aware of. I would highly recommend 6 weeks worth of food and water. Charles, very much so. I would also highly recommend you begin locating water sources because, especially if you're in the western states are getting hit with more cuts to the Colorado River water. What does this mean? What do you mean more cuts? How do you cut water down? Well, states have took rights over and they're cutting back by at least 15%. We already have a desert area following through Nevada and Texas and into Mexico. Now they're cutting back production of water they allow through things by at least 15%. They could see deeper cuts from government said are as needed to reserve from failing so low they cannot pump water. 15 to 30%. Can you cut your water down 15 to 30%? That's a very big part there. Now, the government's not helping. They're not here to help. They're here to make functionality. Hello, Shannon. How are you? They're here to look at the bigger picture. We're going to have a problem. We're going to have bigger problems with our water. And, we keep having the EPA being disturbed and told that they can't make this and they can't do that and they can't do this and they can't do that. When it's their job to protect the water, we're going to have China water. Do you know in China, water is so deadly that a lot of people now will only buy bottled? Fish appearing up dead on our seashores is because of the hurricanes. No, they're not. It's because of the chemicals leaked in there. Facebook user, I'm assuming you're Kathy. I do need your birthday because you know I don't keep that on record. So we've got to be keeping a little bit more eye on our government. These elections are going to be a little interesting. Speaking of elections, apparently megas aren't planning on um, participating in it because, you know, their cult leader said don't participate in the elections. Great. That'll give us at least a better chance of getting good people in there. Okay. But no, this new bill, the Infrastructure Act, will possibly do it. Now, there is one bill they haven't passed that's been sitting there, too, actually, that they could have done. And that was the, I don't know, Frontline Workers Act that was supposed to give $35,000 of hazard pay to nurses. Okay. That would have been a good thing. It's not passed. The Equality Act, it still hasn't passed, but they can get this bill through. And that's only about making deals with Joe Manchin on how to rape West Virginia some more, to let this pipeline go through us. Why don't we run it through Manchin's backyard? Oh, yeah, because his backyard isn't in West Virginia, it's in Kentucky. Pain in the ass. So we're looking at 40 million Americans in 7 states relying on the river because the state failed to meet its federal deadline to figure out how to cut their water usage by 15%. They could see severe cuts in it. Really? Do we not understand drought? Did we not understand global warming? Do we have to go back to 8th grade science? Yes, they're teaching global warming in 8th grade. Minnesota nurses, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see a national, well, we're going to see a national nurses shortage, but we're also going to see nurses leaving the bedside. We have seen nurses leave the bedside since they began faltering on their plans and their treatment of our nurses in 2017. But, you know, nurses don't get to have a true strike. They still have to go in and take care of their patients, unfortunately. Now, in Crimea, a lot of people didn't even know where Crimea was. Yeah, in Crimea, Russia's blaming sabotage for blasts rocking another military factory facility. Sabotage? No, it's much more than sabotage. It is people being tired of it. It is people standing up and really fighting for their country. Now, y'all, Americans like to throw around the word patriot a lot. Drives me batty when I hear the word anymore. Ukrainians are very, very patriotic, which is scary because then I look at what we've got there. You know, it's, you know, looking at, you know, even the president went to war and led in war and continued to lead in war. But who would have thought that a place that you could not even pronounce would affect everyone down to your kitchen table? This is why people say that we are a global economy, because we are a global economy. And with that global economy, everything in the world affects us. The drought in Texas is going to affect the people in Africa. It's going to affect the people in Uganda. It's going to affect the people in Asia. Why? Why would they do that? Grain that grows there goes everywhere. It's like, you know, we have heard for centuries, well, at least as long as I've been alive, got to keep coal alive in West Virginia. Got to keep coal alive in West Virginia. There's a problem. They were told that if they kept mining at the rates in the 1980s that they were, by 2025, West Virginia would have no more coal. Okay. So if there's no more coal to sell, how do we slow that down? Well, we shut down mines. We pass laws to not let mines go through. We slow down the industry. And then we run this counter program of telling people, oh, it's just people, you know, it's just global warming stuff, because it's going on at the same time. The earth is heating up. We need to get used to it. Houses, you know, we reported almost 2 months ago, oh no, about 2 weeks ago, about houses burning down in London because of the heats. It all depends on how we take care and deal with our people and how we build with them. So, of course, then, you know, let's go ahead and look around the globe. We have in America people stripping away rights and autonomy. Scotland, part of the United Kingdom, becomes the first country to offer tampons and pads for free um, to its citizens, personal care items for the female citizens, sanitary pads, all will be free to cost to anyone that needs them. Really? And you think, but Aeson, that's not really that big of a deal. Why is it? Well, when a gallon of milk costs the same amount as pads, which one's the mother going to choose from? Where is she going to get her better health care? Huh? I asked you. Why is it that these little countries are doing things so major to affect the kitchen table's bottom line? And that's where it's getting to, is the kitchen table's bottom line. And as prices skyrocket, as things, continue to grow out in the years, we do see some signs of growth. We do see some signs of improvement. We do see some signs of humanity. Not completely all over the world, but starting. It's starting in the streets. It's starting, person to person, home to home. And we're beginning to see just who we are as a people. Some of us aren't that nice. Some of us ain't that pretty. Some of us aren't that great. And then others are just like, what can we do to help? What can we make happen? How can we make this work? Yeah, it'll get bad before it gets worse. If we look at the trends, we see much worse bandings. All right, so I'm going to talk about the Oompa Loompa search warrant real fast of the chocolate factory, and then we're going to move forward. What I found scary is that, one, they would have to go to this level to get the American documents back. What's even scarier is what is on that search warrant. Nuclear arms, nuclear weapons information was just laying around where anyone could have picked it up. We don't know exactly what it is, but let's say it is a map of where all the missile silos are. Do you want your enemies, which we have many, we're the United States, we have many, to be able to just go pick that shit up? I don't think so. Of course, he's wanting to unseal the affidavits. No, those don't need to be unsealed. I think it's really interesting that he had the ability to unseal the warrant. He didn't think that the government would do it, and they done it. Said, here, look at it. Look at exactly what is going on there. Look at what they've had to go through to get this. It's unprecedented. To be thinking of a former president possibly being charged with espionage. Of course, we've already said, him and Putin were best friends. I also think that it's interesting they took his inactive passports, because he technically had 4. And they took his diplomatical one because he's not a diplomat. They took his government, passport because he's not a member of the government anymore. He's a private citizen. And those are the 2 that they took. And they took the presidential one, the black passport, because they didn't need that one either because he's not a president anymore. So that was a rant that goes nowhere. I find it highly interesting the way people are portraying this in the news. I find it interesting that some are making mockery out of it. Guys, we're in trouble about 2 feet high and about 3 feet deep across this world if some of these documents on this search warrant was sold to Russia or China or any other highest bidder that is being made out in this case. And of course, it's going to jeopardize national security. He's already jeopardized it. Did you know there was a tunnel that you can walk out on a beach and walk up through into Mar-a-Lago? Do you know they caught a Chinese spy breaking into there almost 2 years ago? Very, very scary. And of course, we see the people attacking the FBI and defund the FBI. How about let's just start with defunding the police and funding some Social Security? How about let's start funding some social programs? How about let's start taking care of American people first? Is that too much to ask? Is that too much to expect from a country that taxes their people at the level they are and says that we're the best in the world? When a country that is not the best in the world, doesn't even claim to be the best in the world. Mexico can provide more for its citizens, even though they've been living under a weaponized embargo for many years. Scary. Very scary. Okay. Let's look at our next news story. There are so few that I want to talk about. Of course, we're waiting for the election results from Wyoming and Alaska to see where our primaries are going. We're looking at Windows 11 jumping into for big upgrades next month. Let's check out some of the new features. The new features will be a lot. The big one, and could arrive in late September, is due to major updates, seeing how it's been nearly a year since 2021 launched the latest updates to Windows. Microsoft is known to be working on updates called Windows 11 version 22H2. Coming in the report is going to streamline a lot of things. The ability to create start menu folders and resize your start menu programs, drag and drop functionality, improve task management, file explorer tabs, improve accessibility via live caption and voice access. I'm looking forward to the voice access. I've gotten addicted to that one. New gesture controls for touch input, improved snap layouts, countless menu updates, name changes, and other cosmetic tweaks. That's cute. Are you going to give me more computer power? Are you going to free up some of the older PCs so that they can run it? Okay. Now this one comes in from one of our viewers. Judge refused a plea deal. A couple here in West Virginia was arrested for espionage. Navy nuclear engineer and wife withdrew their guilty pleas Thursday in a case involving a alleged plot to sell the secrets of American nuclear power warships after a federal judge reelected the plea agreements, calling it for specific sentence that called for specific sentence guidelines. Apparently, tar and feather wasn't an option. Jonathan and Diana Toby of Alpine, Maryland, pled guilty in February in federal court in Martinsburg, West Virginia, to one count each of conspiracy to communicate restricted data that was original arrest in West Virginia in October. The sentencing range agreement the lawyer of Justin had called for was potential punishment, roughly 12 to 17 years in prison. Now, prosecutors too say that such a sentence would be one of the most significant imposed in modern times under the Atomic Energy Act of 1954. Prosecutors also sought 3 years for Diana. No, I think they both need 50 years of hard labor in a military prison. That's my opinion. But it looks like the judge said, I don't think so. No. We won't honor this plea agreement. In the case, she said, in the sentencing option is slightly difficult considering the seriousness of these charges. Agreed. I don't find any justifiable reason to accept either one of these plea agreements, Gosh said, wearing an orange jumpsuit and seated separately on tables. The couple are now separately withdrawing their guilty pleas, leading Gosh to set a trial date for January 17th. Now, we will be following this one because this can be kind of a pre-playbook for somebody else. Oh, yeah, the Oompa Loompa and the Chocolate Factory case. Memory cards were found in devices such as chewing gum wrappers and peanut butter sandwiches. The couple was arrested after he placed a memory card at a dead drop location in Jefferson County, West Virginia. If you do not think espionage is going on in your home state, you better look again. Of course, none of the information he was able to gather was secret or top secret, falling into third category considered confidential. According to testimony Tuesday, the FBI said the scheme began in 2020 when Johnson sent a package of Navy documents to a foreign government and wrote that he was interested in selling the country's operational manuals, performance reports, and other sensitive information. He included it in the package, which had a Pittsburgh return address, instructions that he's supposed to contact on how to establish a convenient relationship with him, prosecutors said. These packages were obtained, of course, by the FBI in 2020 through legal attached offices in the unspecified foreign countries. I'll give you a bet where they were. This set off a month-long undercover operation which agents pursued the representation of the federal country, made contact with Talbot, ultimately paying $100,000 in cryptocurrency in exchange for information Talbot was offering. Talbot, who had top secret clearance through the Defense Department, had agreed as part of the plea deal to help federal officers locate and retrieve all classified information in his possession, as well as the cryptocurrency he was paid. Can we call it bullshit? I think tar and feathering should be great. Teachers are in high demand, are leaving their field in droves. They said that we, as right now, are 300,000 short, and there is not enough applying for teacher jobs because the treatment from the higher ups. Yeah, teachers can't teach anymore. In standard school systems, they have to teach to a test. They cannot teach to what they want to teach to. They cannot teach to what they properly should be teaching to. Ridiculous. Totally ridiculous. And what they have to put up with. All right. So we got a question. I'm going to take the question, and we're going to deal with that, and then we may take a break. I'm hoping Joe will be back soon. We will see. I know, it's me alone. I'm not normally that good, but we will see. I'm asking a question early because I'm in severe pain. I've talked to an attorney at the office for 45 minutes. They said they are going to send me a letter next, but my gut feeling is I'm qualifying, so timing is still the same. Everything happens as you said, and the six-figure number starting to close to the meal still holds. I know this is confusing, but I'm more confused when I was speaking to them before. So I believe they said I'm accepted. Of course you're accepted. All right, let's see if everything's still holding. It looks to me that things are still holding. Now, I understand you're in severe pain. I'm going to recommend that you do see your doctor, at least, or you may need to go into the hospital. But I do feel things are still moving forward in this case for you. All right, so we took care of that. All right. So we're going to take a commercial break, and we will be right back.
Hi, I'm Tracy Van. I provide a blended reading consisting of mediumship, psychic, and tarot cards. A reading from me can cover any guidance you need from relationships with your partner or your family, spiritual, financial, any questions you may need clarity on. If you would like to book an appointment with me, check out my website, tracyvann.com. That's TracyVann.com. I have bookings from 15 to 60 minutes you may choose from. That helps if you just have a quick question, need an answer, or if you're looking for a reading in more depth, I'm here to provide the guidance and clarity for you. Let's just figure it out. Bye.
Hi, I'm Dottie the Psychic, and I'm sure you're wondering why I'm not wearing any makeup. Well, one reason is to irritate my social media manager, Aeson Knight. Hi, Aeson. The other reason is because I like to get to the naked truth about what it means to be a neurodivergent LGBT person with psychic abilities. I've got vlogs, blogs, and podcasts and videos all related to trying to live my best life and helping witches and bitches do the same thing. So, you can check all that out and get a reading from Dottie the Psychic at DOTTIEthepsychic.com. Safe travel and much profit to you.
Hey everybody, Lady Gwendolyn here, and I am here to tell you how to get in contact with me and a little bit about what I do. I am the high priestess that works with shadow work to help you grow and heal. And I work with access bars, Reiki. I do power forms. I'm recently getting into crystal healing, sound therapy as well. So you can go to Lady Gwendolyn Healing, that is LadyGwendolynHealing.com. Book your appointment with me. I do in person, I do over the phone, I do over Zoom. We can do that as well. My main goal is to help you grow and heal because I've been there. I'm still going through it, and let my strength help guide you. See you soon.
Hi, I'm Aeson Knight. I provide tarot readings covering everything from love and relationships to your life questions and your most spiritual answers. And also, I provide a lot of guidance in finances and divorces and all those relationship problems. So, if you'd like to get a reading from me privately, not on air, you can feel free to do so by visiting aesonknight.com and booking your appointment. I also provide on-demand services, so if your life is a little chaotic, you can go ahead and click that call now button there on my site. It'll connect you to Keen, and if you've not been with Keen before, you'll get 3 free minutes to talk with me, so that's great for a quick answer question. All right, guys, back to the show. Enjoy. Bye, y'all. All right, so I figured we would move into Are You an Asshole? And this one comes in from, of course, the Reddit forum, and we enjoy these a lot. Let's see how we do this. Are you the asshole for telling my boyfriend that his mother tried to pay me $600 to leave him? Hi, Reddit people. New to this community. I, female 23, and my boyfriend, mother-in-law 55, female, got into an argument today because she offered me $600 to leave my boyfriend because I'm not pure Colombian. I was in shock and I told her to get out of my house. She didn't want to leave because it was her son's house. I told her that if she didn't leave, then I will tell Nick everything. She was shocked and left after that. I was crying. I don't know how long, but my brother was home from school. He asked me what was wrong, and he was mad at Marlena, and he told me not to worry about it. An hour later, Nick came home, and he looked at me like he ran over here. So he asked if what Jeremy, my brother, said was true. I said yes. Nick called Jeremy, and they left. I thought they were going to go hang out at a game store, but no. They went to the house of Nick's parents, and Nick went off on his mother about how she had no right to say no right to say that to me. Sophia, Nick's sister, and Dave, Nick's brother, said it was because Marlena wanted the best for Nick, because apparently to Marlena, a Colombian man is only supposed to be with a Colombian woman. It works how our culture works, Nick's father said to the woman, like that a woman like me doesn't deserve to be in his family. Info: I'm half Mexican, half Puerto Rican. Nick is fully Colombian. So Nick and Jared came home. Then Nick pulled me into a hug and that everything will be okay for me and our baby. Not even 2 minutes ago, I got a text saying, how dare I turn Nick against his family, or they will ruin my life if I don't leave Nick. Nick has not called his mother yet to apologize because he does that when he's mad at her. Now I feel bad because I have turned him against his family. I told Nick to go apologize or call his mother to apologize, and he said no, that he won't apologize this time. I called and told some of my friends, and half said that I did the right thing, while the others said that I was a complete asshole to do that. What's your thoughts? Am I the asshole? Here's my thoughts. No, she's not the asshole. I don't know where family gets this idea that you can have these little interlinking conversations with people and people won't talk to their mate at the time. But to offer $600 to leave him? Damn, honey, I need more than that. I need at least about 5,000. Maybe 6, depending on how much I've invested here. I mean, she's got a child. Yeah. Okay, so Brenda says, mother-in-law's an asshole. I agree. Um, honestly, honesty is the best, and she done the right thing to tell. I agree she is not the asshole. The mother-in-law is the asshole. Yeah, the mother-in-law is cheap too, which is double assholes. Only 600. I would have requested at least 5,000. And that goes up by the more years I invest in there. Yeah, no. Mother-in-law's the asshole. So we're going to do another one of these because, I had to choose. I chose a couple. I normally do choose a couple and pick it out. Um, so the edits to this one was thanks everyone's support. Nick is reading the comments with me and he said thank you also. I will also give an update as soon as possible. If you guys want his side of the story, let me know. Edit 2, hi everyone. I'm Nick. I wanted to tell y'all thank you for the support. My girlfriend is a tough time right now so far. We're moving forward with the moving ASAP, but I'm hoping I can adopt Jaden because I love him like my own son. Anyone who says this is fake, that is your opinion. We do not really care. I will give my side ASAP, and we will see what happens later. Thanks again. So I like that they updated that one. All right. So here's one that kind of comes interesting. It says, am I the asshole for telling my neighbor I don't care for their living situation? Title sounds bad, but hear me out. Recently, the OP relocated to Orlando from Miami. They moved into some nice, decent apartments that would be considered really nice, not high end, or anything, but definitely nice. Miami, it was just too expensive, which is the reason they moved. So, because they work from home and they have 2 dogs, they got a 2-bedroom apartment, one that can be an office so that they can have their own office and one for them to sleep in. After having an also in the same room and sleeping in that room, which I know this sucks, never being able to leave work, it was suffocating. Feeling like they actually leave work was after they closed their laptop. So they've been here for about a month and recently saw a family moving in. She's very introverted, so she didn't introduce herself or anything. The only time she ever really had contact with anyone was when someone is walking their dog at the same time as they are, and the pups want to say hello to each other. Very quick small talk, and then they're on their way. Today, they were going back into after walking her dogs, and she saw the wife and gave a friendly smile, nothing more. She decided she should throw the trash out before she clocked in for the day, just to get it out of the way. As she was walking out of the apartment, the wife stopped and introduced herself, and they introduced themselves as well. She asked if I lived with a girlfriend or anything. I told her no. It's just me and the pup. She gave a strange look that I can only describe as annoyed. She said if my apartment had 2 bedrooms, I told her yes, there's 2 bedrooms. And she asked why I wanted 2 bedrooms when I live alone. And I explained that to her the office sleeping thing method I mentioned above. Now, this is the part where she may have been the asshole. She said that was really inconsiderate and rude to larger families that take up 2-bedroom apartments by themselves. Her family of 4, husband, wife, and 2 children, have to share 1 bedroom because people like me decide to steal the 2-bedroom apartments. I said that sucks that you feel that way, but there's nothing she can do. She said I should trade apartments with her. I thought she was joking. And then I started laughing, that nervous, high-pitched, cranky laugh, and genuinely found her suggestion hilarious. Then I said to her, with her living situation, it doesn't concern me. And if she wanted a 2-bed apartment, she should have looked harder. She said she was going to report me to the building, and I said that she should include a report of my deference. Report me to Jacinta, Florida's governor, while she's at it. I went inside and left her there screaming like a crazy person. You ain't an asshole for having a 2-bedroom apartment. Personally, working from home myself, I highly recommend having at least an additional bedroom or 2. Personally, I understand why you don't have a 3-bedroom apartment, because one is an office, so where do you put your guests? On the rug? That's my opinion. So no, you are not the asshole for having an extra room, because you technically don't have an extra room. So, that's my opinion. What's y'all's opinion for people taking up more space than other people? I think it's perfectly fine if you can afford it. If you can afford a 15-bedroom apartment, then afford a 15-bedroom apartment. And that's your prerogative. But a lot of people get jealous because, you'll pay the extra, you'll do the extra, whatever. And that's just kind of how it is. It's the harder side of things. All right, so on to our next topic, relationship advice. And we're going to use the mouse choose this one, so we may get a little spicy here. Here's an interesting one that gets a lot of people into trouble, so I'll give advice on this. Am I being dramatic over the fact that my wife isn't wearing her wedding ring? My wife, 33, and I have been married for 12 years. About 4 years ago, she lost her wedding ring and doesn't wear one since then. It's never bothered at all. I never had a reason to question our trust until back when I caught her texting a guy that she had just met in our house at a party we had for a bunch of friends. She had basically told the guy that she saw us getting a divorce and she just was buying time for 18 months until she got situated in her career. Along with other things in the message, it crushed my whole world. But I told her that I forgave her, but the trust would have to take a while. We saw a therapist. Things were actually better than before because we were communicating. I decided to buy her an elastic ring that she could wear, that she could match with her outfit. She immediately didn't like them, but ordered a cheap replacement wedding ring. She wore it, and I was happy about it. Last week, she started back to work, and when she left the ring sitting on the nightstand in the sun, I just glared at her. It doesn't bother me, but I did recognize that she forgot it. When she got home, she mentioned that she had forgotten it, and I told her I noticed. The next day before she left, I asked if she was wearing her wedding ring. She says, I guess I gotta get it. I guess I'll go get it. But after she left, I noticed that it was still there. This time I was actually bothered. When we were in bed that night, she asked what was bothering me. So I told her the fact that she didn't wear her wedding ring again. It's bothering me, and prior to her talking to that guy, it wouldn't have been. I felt that my concerns were justified. She said she feels like I don't trust her, and I told her I'm still working on that, but wearing the ring would help. The next day, she left the house without the ring, but came home with it on. So I asked her when she put it on. She said she put it on when she was getting ready, which was a lie, because it wasn't on her when she left. When I asked her to tell the truth, she couldn't remember. Either way, the next day, she didn't wear it again. After she told me that she didn't want to feel ordered to wear it, and now won't wear it at all. I feel like at this point, she isn't wearing it just because I want her to. Am I being dramatic or jealous, or am I looking for an issue after what has happened? I think they're looking for a fight. Point blank, you're looking for a fight. You're needing attention because there's some factors going in here. Okay? You're looking for a fight. And yeah, the wife's already stated her plans. 18 months and she's out of there. You got to change her mind. She's got to get her career in place. She wants to pull it all together. and it was already an issue, and you're looking for something to blame it on. That issue is something very simple. You don't trust. And if you don't trust, you don't have a relationship. Trust in a relationship is highly important. When trust is damaged, you've got to work that back out. You've got to rebuild from the ground up. It's like a house being hit by a fire or a hurricane. You have to start from the foundation and take your way back through. And I don't think this couple has done it. Yeah, they've seen a therapist. Therapist is nice and interesting. But I don't feel like they've really done anything really correct or really good. And I think I hear a Joe coming in. So, in my opinion, I'd start planning a divorce plan. You're going to end up there. Sounds like he's hopping into the seat, which will be great. I will go ahead and send this over to him so he can be ready to talk about it. And we can hop in and have some banter, and he can talk about a lot of the busy things going on around here. We've had a few little situations we've been working on, but I'll read some comments while he's getting in here. Facebook user, if you qualify for it, you do it. Exactly. Personally, if I was living alone, I would still have a 3-bedroom. That way I would have my office and a guest room. And Brenda says she's already stated her plans, that she has plans on leaving and has her career plan in place. I think she had her career plan in place long before. All right, let's bring in the Joe.
Hello.
How's you?
Pretty good, pretty good. How was you? How's the show?
Kind of okay. We're already into relationship advice. I have sent you the one. We've gone over with it. Here's the basis. Wife laid out on text message how she plans on leaving the husband in 18 months and how dopey he is. Of course, in between this, she's lost her wedding ring.
Oh, no.
He bought her silicone. She didn't like them, so she ordered a cheap wedding ring. Now that she started working, she seems to not be able to find that wedding ring to put on.
Okay.
Is he being a dramatic or is he being an asshole?
Okay. So that's a little, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to figure out, like, okay. Sorry, I'm trying to get that open real quick. Okay. All right. Ooh. There's a lot going on there.
Uh-huh.
I
think he's looking for an argument.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, it's really important to a lot of people, and it sounds like there's not been really good communication on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, it looks like this is important to him. It might not be important to her.
Right.
And instead of having that conversation, looks like they are just going to have the giant argument until they actually manage to finally get that out there that this isn't really important to her.
Mm-hmm.
Is the way it goes, the way it runs to me.
Yep.
Like, I think it's going to be a fight.
Oh, yeah.
But it sounds like it wasn't ever important to her, maybe for some weird reasons in the beginning, but now. Yeah.
We've had this issue. Lord knows my band is somewhere in this house.
Yeah, it's somewhere.
Yeah, it's somewhere. I put them up because someone hassled me about dough.
Well, this is true. Like, because I got tired of cleaning dough out of your rings. Plural. Rings.
Uh-huh.
The one in particular wasn't all that bad. Like, it might get some dough on it, but it was a quick rinse. But a couple of your other rings, it's like, are you just insane?
Right.
But yeah, yay, it's a Joe. Awesome. Yeah, I'm here. But no, I mean, I don't know. I was kind of down for it in the beginning, and then I started having like ring finger problems.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we went up a size with a different ring. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
that
why I
that
like my
hasn't.
necklace. Like, I can wear my necklace and be done with it.
Mhm. I don't know. I like sadly, mine sits here on the desk. Um,
Yeah.
just because literally I keep having my like most of the time the ring is perfectly fine, great, well and good. I'm okay with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then like my hands get wet
Uh-huh.
and my skin on my finger starts cracking,
Uh-huh.
and I have not figured that one out.
Well, that's why
Like,
you pull it forward when you dry your hands off.
no, it's not there. Like, it would make sense if it were right there at the ring line.
Uh-huh.
Like, my problem is not here where
Uh-huh.
the ring sets.
Right.
My problem ends up being up through here,
Right.
like well up my finger.
Right.
And it's the like literally I start feeling like there's glass
Uh-huh.
and it hurts.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna get dramatic over it. I've teased him over it twice now.
Yeah.
Twice. Because this is not the he has not lost one ring.
I've lost 3.
Yes.
3 sets of rings.
I'm just like, whatever, I give up. Like,
Yeah. But so
it's
far I've been able to,
fine.
I took this necklace from you about the same time you got me the ring,
Yes, yes, you did. Yes,
and
you
I've kept it on.
did. Mm-hmm.
And I can keep my
So,
father's wedding band that's for my other relationship. That works just fine.
yeah.
But keeping up with the other sets of rings, yeah, that's not happened for a while now. I will take
No.
them off. I will put them in a little dish, and they're sitting somewhere in the house.
Well, yeah, but now it's 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I still have mine.
Yes, I know you do.
this alienates him to no end. But what I was gonna say is it was funny because this keeps happening with my finger, and especially like God forbid I wash dishes. So I started taking it off when I washed dishes, and I forgot and left it in the windowsill the other day.
Mm-hmm.
And he came in the room so excited. He's like, "Guess what?" And I was like, "What?" And he said, "I found my ring." And I said, "No, you didn't." And he just looked at me like, "Yes, I did." And I said, "No,
It's in
you
the
didn't."
windowsill.
And I said, "Yeah, it was in the windowsill where I took my ring off and put it when I did dishes."
Right.
Your first clue should have been it's the wrong size.
Well,
Oh, so sorry the pain is winning.
good
So
rest, darling.
go rest.
But no, it was, so I don't know where they are. We have little dishes that I trunk stuff in throughout the house. And yeah, I am hoping for the 2 carat diamond ring. Like, I've been waiting for that, but that doesn't look like it's coming along at all.
Honey, you lost the 3 cheap rings.
Hey, I know, but this is actually a 1/4 carat diamond, and I can keep up with it.
Well, there you go. It has to have a diamond for him to be able to find it.
Right.
Oh, I tease, but no, really.
True. But my other problem is, and this is the reason we haven't replaced them, or let me rephrase that, the reason I haven't replaced them is my hands are changing sizes.
Yeah. Well, and I never really thought I'd have a problem wearing a ring. Like I used to wear my class ring. I used to wear, I've had a few rings,
Right.
and I don't know what it is. Just here in the last few years, and it was starting to do it with the first rings we had.
Right.
And then every ring after that, it's gotten worse. And I'm just starting to wonder, like, can I just not wear a ring anymore? As in, like, my body is just rejecting the concept. Like,
Well, I
is this
say we
where
get
I'm at?
matching necklaces and be done with it.
There you go. Oh, of course, then we have to be really careful
Uh-huh.
with the matching necklaces.
No, we'll go and get the chainmail ones like I like, and we'll get a copy of this, 2 copies of this one, except one will be the actual length of the necklace, and that'll be perfectly fine.
Yeah, because he has a spacer on that one.
Yeah, I have a spacer on that one. I don't know if I still need the spacer or not.
Like, yes, for those of you out there, his neck is bigger than mine.
Yes.
I have a dainty neck by comparison.
Yeah, you have a size 12 collar.
Like, no, seriously, if he hooks it where it's supposed to be, he can't breathe.
That's debatable right now.
Well, that's true. You've had some, it is lengthened.
Yeah.
But no, when we first got together, his neck was bigger than mine.
Yeah.
Like, because he found the necklace, he put it on, he was like, it's mine now. And, but it was, as he said it, it was more like, it's mine now. It was very creepy. It was very scary.
All right, we're going to do this on air.
Can Aeson now wear the necklace without the spacer?
So I've got to get my jewelry tools out.
Oh, dude. Yeah, that one was never a good clasp to begin with.
No, I replaced the clasp.
Oh, yeah, you had to have by now.
Yeah. And yes, I can.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, that's without the spacer in.
Nice. Because I'm not kidding. It was a choker.
Yeah.
Like, it's set, like, right against his throat. And he
Mhm.
was just like, I can't talk, but I love this necklace.
Yes, I'll put a spacer in. But no, now I don't need the spacer.
Good deal,
Oh.
good deal.
Yeah, there's a project I've got for you later.
Oh, no. What am I doing later?
Well, since the scale isn't moving, you're going to do some measuring.
Oh, good God. Okay. Am I measuring in real inches or internet inches?
Real inches. I don't need
Okay.
internet inches.
Like, your waist is 104. It's the biggest waist I have ever seen.
Let's not do
Those
that.
are internet inches. That's how internet inches work.
Yeah, let's not do that. All right, so we talked about everything that hit my newsfeed while you weren't here. What has hit your newsfeed?
Oh my God, I was supposed to look at the news. What? Oh my God.
I am not on. Is that a bad thing, Shannon, that I'm not on OnlyFans?
Yeah, you know.
That's like
Like, it
first
comes
time
up
the
often.
conversation
I will
came
say,
up.
it comes up often.
I know.
Oh, there was a story, and I'm trying to remember what it was. It's been this week, and it was actually really interesting. And I swear to God, we talked about it, like you and I talked about it. But
Uh-huh.
we didn't share. She's saying you don't use internet inches. You're not on OnlyFans.
Ah. Yeah, I know.
Well, but dudes on the internet use internet inches.
Yeah.
Like, that's how that works. Like, I will guarantee you, he is not 6 foot tall.
I am too.
No, not you. I mean, if you are talking to a guy online,
Mhm.
I will guarantee this for the straight girls in the audience. There are zero, and I mean zero, 6 foot tall men online.
Mm-hmm.
They will be somewhere between 5'11"
Mm-hmm.
and 5'4".
Mm-hmm.
They will not be 6 foot tall.
Right.
Like, there's almost none. It's like finding a unicorn
Right.
or a narwhal.
Well, see, what I find often is guys underestimate.
Some. There's usually a bigger guy problem. Like, let's be real. It's usually a bigger guy problem.
Yeah, bigger guys, men.
Okay.
Um, Older men tend to underestimate too.
Yeah.
They will be like 55 and they will say they're 40, and it's like, no, you're 55, and that's cute.
Yes. Yeah, no, lying about age is the worst.
I find
Like,
it
no.
cute at this point. Of course, I had fun the other morning. For some
Oh.
reason, in the mornings, my phone will go off.
Mhm.
When I'm at the gym normally, I don't know, maybe it is a hot spot or whatever. It'll
Mhm.
go off. And there was this dude that says, "Hey, do you want to be a sugar baby?" And I replied back, "I need to see your credit score, 3 credit reports, and at least 4 black cards in your wallet."
Okay, see, that's just too much right there.
What?
It's just too much right there. Oh, did we talk about the paywall thing?
No.
Oh my god. Okay, so guys, let's talk about the paywall thing. Some of y'all have already seen this, y'all that are friends with me. So the Charleston Gazette Mail, in their infinite wisdom, had a lovely column that we did not read because we don't pay for the Charleston Gazette Mail, or at least I don't. I don't have your login if you do.
No, I don't.
Okay, sorry. I'm confused. Is everything okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, they had this lovely article about why articles are behind a paywall, why content in general is. And of course, we did not get to read that because we don't pay for content. And they put it behind a paywall. Like the layers there of you put a article about why content is behind a paywall. I don't think anyone was swayed by this that is not already paying for your content. Moreover, I don't know why people who are paying for your content would want to read that content.
Right.
They've already made the decision. Who were you talking to? So, yeah.
Okay, this is a weird story out of North Carolina.
Oh, okay. Sorry, you were reading an article. I was trying to figure
I
out
was
your
scanning an
expression.
article.
Okay, I was trying to figure out your expressions because you had this weird look. I was like, what broke? What happened? What's going on? Did anyone die?
Yes, not someone we knew.
Oh, okay. Well, great. Let me click the link you sent to me. Oh. Do what? What did I just read?
You just read it.
New details released after co-pilot falls to death before emergency landing in North Carolina.
Uh-huh.
Morrisville. Should have known. New details have been released about a co-pilot's mysterious mid-flight exit from a plane and fatal fall in North Carolina last month. So on July 29th, around 3:20 p.m., a medium cargo plane made an emergency landing at, Raleigh Durham International Airport. The twin-engine, that's got to be a Cessna or a Casa. All right, it should
Capitan
probably be Cessna.
212.
Yeah, CN-212 Aveo car landed on a runway and veered into the grass. The plane initially had 2 people on board. First responders told Nexar's WNCN that one person on board the plane was taken to Duke Hospital with minor injuries. Shortly after the plane landed, local emergency units began searching for a co-pilot who either fell or jumped from the plane without a parachute while it was in the air. Oh God! Authorities were later flagged down by someone who heard a noise in their yard. The co-pilot, 23-year-old Charles Hugh Crooks, was then found dead in the Sonoma Springs neighborhood, roughly 30 miles south of the airport. Crooks was so upset with a mishap during the flight that he opened the cockpit window and may have gotten sick, the pilot told investigators from the National Transportation Safety Board. The pilot took over radio communications and Crooks lowered the ramp in the back of the airplane, indicating that he felt like he was going to be sick and needed air, according to the NTSB news release. The pilot says Crooks then got up from his seat, took his headset off, apologized, and exited the plane from the open ramp door without a parachute. There was a bar a person could grab about 6 feet above the ramp, but the pilot says he did not see Crooks grab the bar before exiting the airplane. Yeah, no, so everything else is just like what happened during the flight. And yeah. What? Okay, so while in flight, one of the co-pilots called Fayetteville Air Traffic Control for help rerouting to Raleigh-Durham International. You can hear one of them say, "We've lost our right wheel. We'd like to proceed to Raleigh and make a landing." During the conversation, one of the men from the plane said they had enough fuel to fly in the air for another 4 hours before having to land. Someone eventually responded, "Quick question, how do you intend to land at Raleigh-Durham?" The response from one of the men was, "Get as low as we can, and I guess we're going to put it on the belly." Multiple first responders headed to the airport after the after the plane landed on the runway. The pilot was taken to the hospital. That's just horrible. Like, how do you get that upset? Okay, I get that you're, like you lost part of your landing gear.
Right.
But how do you get that upset about it that you jump out of a plane?
Looks like he probably just walked out.
Well, okay, fine. But still,
Well, this kind of makes me question what the actual hell happened, because that doesn't make a logical sense. Now, granted, I'm sure they've got the pilot on some heavy sedatives, but there's got to be a black box recording somewhere that someone better be listening to.
Like, none of that makes sense.
Nah.
Like, none of that makes sense. That is the weirdest story.
Well, that's what it popped up to, was weird news. But have you heard about this quiet quitting thing going on around?
The quiet what?
Quietly quitting?
Oh, quietly quitting?
Uh-huh.
I've heard of quiet firing, which is a thing. I actually replied to an Am I the Asshole way earlier, I think today or last night. Anyway, quiet firing is when you just schedule someone for no hours and then you let them take the hint.
Right.
Well, so what's quietly quitting?
Quietly quitting is going on. It is people returning to work. They do exactly their job duties, no more, no extra. They walk in at 9 a.m., they walk out at 5 p.m., they take their breaks on time, but they do the bare minimum.
Okay.
Nothing extra. No staying late, no doing extra projects, no stepping out of things.
Okay. Yeah, Yeah, depending upon your job and your responsibilities and what you've been doing up to that point, that's a good first sign that you're not going to get a raise.
Mm-hmm.
Just turned into you're not going to have an employee.
Right. And then, of course, looking for other jobs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, I can understand that one. That was, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been motivated, or should I say demotivated, just about to that point.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that's where I would have ended up.
Mm-hmm.
but not for the fact that I just had too much assigned to me to even begin to try.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't just going to be like a noticeable thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was going to be like, no, this is going to look like you've literally quit doing your job.
Right.
So yeah, but I will say that last 2 weeks was gloriously light.
Mm-hmm.
It was nice. It was nice. It was actually manageable tasks.
Mm-hmm.
I especially love that my boss inadvertently, because talk about ironies, he had not been the one that when an employee was leaving set up the shadowing
Mm-hmm.
on email
Uh-huh.
to carbon copy like a manager.
Uh-huh.
So when he tried to set it up for me, he inadvertently forwarded all of my email with no copy to me.
Uh-huh.
So he auto forwarded all my email to himself
Uh-huh.
and then proceeded to spend an entire week getting mad at me for not doing my job.
That's cute.
So then we had this very loud argument
Mm-hmm.
about why aren't you replying to email? And I go, what email? And I opened my inbox and I haven't had a new email since he turned it on. And it's like, would you like me to show you how to do that? Like, that's an awkward, and talk about awkward moments. We had a few of those as I left, but that was a very awkward moment when it's like, hi, would you like me to show you how to fire me?
I don't know. I see. The more I hear about your job, the more I'm like, yeah, I would have walked out.
You know, I was trying to be like it was the first real job, like really real, like this is your college degree based job.
Mm-hmm.
It really was kind of the first real job. And I'm like, I'm trying to do all the right things through this and had been trying the whole way to do all the right things.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, take on the extra responsibility. It'll get you promoted. It'll get you more money. Yeah, no, that was a lie. Like, these are lies that, like, our parents told us.
Yeah. See, this is something that happened to me back in the day. I had a DON that was a pain in my ass. And when I say pain in my ass, she was much more than what I would classify as a bitch. She was more of a psycho.
Okay, like, by that, he means director of nursing.
Yeah.
Side note.
So I just flipped places. It was no big deal. I went full-time at one. And so it's about 11:15 and my phone rings. And I flip it open and I know who's calling because I know the number. Mm-hmm. I go, hello. She goes, have you clocked in on your shift? Yes, ma'am. I sure have clocked in. I've been here for about 4 hours. Wow, what's your problem? She goes, Aeson, what facility are you at? Well, I'm at Heartland of Beckley. What are you talking about? You were scheduled at Fayette Continuous. Oh, yeah. See, there was a letter put in your box about 2 weeks ago that told you I was leaving for your lack of care of nursing. And she goes, what are you talking about? I said, go into the nurse's station, and there's these boxes, you know, where you normally stuff your crap, like notices of bullshit and all that. You have one there, too. You should check it more often.
Check your mail.
Uh-huh.
Check your mail.
Uh-huh.
Check your mail.
Yeah.
Oh, she had to be beside herself.
Oh, yeah, she was, because, you know, she had scheduled me my normal 70 hours.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was kind of funny, though, that job, I had to do a lot to fire myself. Well, to technically, okay, the technical term would be terminate myself.
Uh-huh.
I literally had to start walking through because I'd been the one doing adds and removes.
Uh-huh.
New users and terminating users.
Right.
I had been doing it for so long that, like, and I was the one that took care of Exchange, and I was the one that took care of this server and that server and this other server.
Mm-hmm.
And so my last 2 weeks, like, we really ended up behind the 8 ball
Uh-huh.
because no one was really thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I'm offering, I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm not trying to be, like, I'm really not. It was just that first week, it was like, I don't need your help. And then, like, we had to spend the whole last week
Uh-huh.
going, okay, and this is how you do this.
Uh-huh.
And this is how you'll properly terminate me when I leave.
Uh-huh.
And, this is what you do with my email account, and my voicemail, and my phone extension, and my,
Right.
And it was just like, yeah, you're gonna be great.
Mm-hmm.
Because their original plan was to not replace me. Flash forward, because they weren't hiring a replacement. Like, the company had told them that they had long thought that they only needed 3 people in this department.
Mm-hmm.
So there was no attempt to recruit someone during that 2 weeks. Not really. They were looking at someone to, like, part-time, like 10 hours or less a week,
Uh-huh.
take over a few duties
Right.
that I had. Yeah, they went full-time in that role within, like, a month.
Right.
Then they hired an entire outside person to replace me. And then, well, let's just say my manager left within 6 months.
Right.
I heard a little more than that. One can ... that right on out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was quite the happy departure.
Right.
So yeah, that's how my leaving a company went.
Right.
So I left quietly. I was very polite and kind and wrote an interesting letter. I tried to do all the right things. I was there. I was helpful, but I was like, no.
Yeah.
My last week was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
The first of my last 2 weeks was amazing. Like, I got to go and actually use my employee benefits.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I got to go see a doctor. I got dental work done. Like, I was like, I'm on my way out the door. Do you mind if I take a few days? Because they weren't going to be able to pay me all my paid time off anyway.
Right.
Because I maxed it out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I had more unused PTO than I should have.
Right.
And so they're like, knock yourself out, dude. So I did.
Yeah.
And, like, it was really cool. I got to go see my doctor, and I got to do, like, dental work and vision.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just knocked all those benefits out on my way out the door. A brand new pair of glasses, brand new, like, got whole dental. Like, it was nice. It was nice.
Well, that's what people basically are doing.
Yeah.
And not letting people know.
No. I'm sorry, anywhere that can fire you at will.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is what at will employment really means, is you can be fired at anyone's whim for any reason at any time. Like, this is what this really means.
Right.
No, if you don't have to give anyone the decency of letting them know and be treated respectfully.
Right.
Like, because let's face it, a lot of the people that get fired, I mean, yeah, there's people that are stealing from the company, sexually harassing others, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, those are totally reasons to fire people. Get them out the door. Goodbye. You fucked up. That's what that is. You have horribly, morally, as well as, like, potentially criminally, and, you've broken the rules.
Right.
Yeah, you need to go. Now.
Right.
Today.
Right.
That I understand, but people who are just being let go, the locations closing.
Right.
Like, the number of employers that'll be just like, no, you don't work here.
Right.
Thanks. We'll send you a box.
Right.
Yeah, no. If that's the employment situation you're in,
Right.
or your socks don't match, goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
No. I'm really, and I think even HR and like hiring is really moving away from caring
Right.
at this point about, did you properly leave your last job? Did you properly do the, next job search before you left your current job?
Mm-hmm.
Because quite frankly, can anyone afford to do that? Like,
Right.
how do you do that?
Right.
How do you do that? How, and especially the way we work people anymore,
Right.
tell me how that person working 80 hours a week
Mm-hmm.
finds time to go for a job interview, and then tell me about the hot ass mess that shows up to that interview.
Right.
Because no, until my last 2 weeks, I hadn't been able to breathe,
Mm-hmm.
let alone job hunt.
Right.
For the previous like 4 years, 10 months, and a few days. How bad was the job? I refer to it like a prison sentence: 4 years, 10 months, 9 days.
Right.
That's how long I worked there to the last day.
Right. But no, I'm really looking at this and going, America's missing out. Gig economy is taking over quickly.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I think we finally are all getting it.
Yeah.
That a lot of the employment that we have, we're not working in factories.
No.
There's no actual tangible reason that you can point to and go, well, obviously you have to be here.
Right.
Like, no, you can do graphics design anywhere.
Right.
You can code a program anywhere.
Right.
Like, as long as you have access to the right resources, you can do a lot of what currently exists as employment anywhere.
Right.
Now, you can't flip a burger.
Right.
You can't collect money at a window. You can't, you can't do patient care. Like, you can do telehealth, but you can't do actual physical hands-on patient care
Right.
remotely. But a lot of what we call it, like, appointment setting.
Right.
Do you face patients other than on the phone?
Right.
Why are you in an office?
Yeah.
You could be at home.
Mm-hmm.
All you need is the ability to access the scheduling system and a phone line.
Yep.
That's it.
You don't even technically need a phone line.
Well, now you kind of need a phone.
No, you have a soft phone.
Well, yeah, but it still, to me, counts as a phone line.
No, it isn't. It's a computer program.
It's not. It's a computer program. You're not wrong. I'm just going, you have to be accessible by phone.
Right.
To me, it's a phone line.
Right. For those wondering, and no, I do not have I'll get the link. I know that this book is going to be getting an update. She updates it every quarter or every so often.
Mm-hmm.
It's Work from Home While You Roam by Robin Barnett. I have been begging to get her on, but of course she lives full-time RVing.
Oh, cool.
So it's kind of hard.
Mm-hmm.
But there's her book. Go get it. It has tens of thousands of work from home jobs.
Oh, nice. Very nice. But no, I mean, but then again, we're so close to this is what every employment is.
Right.
I mean, yeah, there's some jobs you can't do that
Right.
remotely. But there's so many others that we've been suckered into this idea that no, you have to be physically present in a building.
Right.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Yeah.
If you can do it in a cube, you can do it at home.
Right.
Like, I will just about guarantee there's not a single job on the planet that if you can do it in an office cubicle,
Mm-hmm.
you can't do it at home.
Right.
Like, you totally can.
Right.
Like, it's just up to the employer to get, yeah, you can. You can. I've never understood that.
Yeah. It never made sense to me either. And it doesn't make sense to the companies.
Mm-mm. It shouldn't. Like, why? Why are we paying for huge ass buildings?
Right.
Like, why? No one wants to be there.
Right.
No one enjoys this.
Right.
No one enjoys rolling out of bed at 6 a.m. to get a shower.
6 a.m.
No one.
4 a.m.
Well, yeah, or 4 a.m. or however long it takes you to get ready and commute and all of this crap.
Right.
I mean, no. Like, and then microwave lunches, trying to get in and out within 30 minutes to an hour
Mm-hmm.
to go have lunch.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, as I called her the last time, fucking Nancy.
Right.
Who won't shut up.
Right.
And just go away.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, there's your productivity killer.
Right.
Like, right there. No.
All right. Well, guys, we know it's been a busy week. We're going to cut a few minutes short. Just because we were getting in late, and we really thank you guys for sticking with us. Things will be balancing out very soon. We're going to be getting balanced out. We look forward to having you back here on Thursday at 8 p.m. for Coffee and Tea with me and Dottie, the original coffee and tea maker. And it'll be interesting to hear us talk. Until then, though, we do want to take a moment and thank the people that make this possible, and also give you a chance to become one of our favorite baristas by visiting pcspnetwork.com.
Take it away, Vanna.
Take it away, Vanna.
All right, so of course we want to thank Beverly Walker, Mika G, Kathy, Mary Winfield, Brenda Bryan, Ashley Guest, Shannon C, Shannon D, Lady Gwendolyn, Charles Shaw, Dottie the Psychic, Tracy Van, Donna White, and the Laughing Tree Grove.
All right, guys, you have a magical evening, and we will see you on Thursday. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Stacked. You can whisper behind my back. You can show me how the odds are up against me all day long. But I've been through the fire and come out alive, and there's no more fear in my eyes. Oh, now I'm rising, and you can't bring me down. You can't stop me now.